The bodies of 3 hostages were returned to their families a few days ago as Israel awaits more. IDF soldiers in Gaza continue to find themselves battling Hamas while Hezbollah tries to rebuild in Lebanon. And we have a report from the Christian Media Summit on the front lines of the information war. Here are these stories and more. Hamas returned the bodies of 3 hostages Sunday evening, including American-Israeli tank commander Captain Omer Nutra, Staff Sergeant Oz Daniel, a member of his tank crew, and Colonel Asaf Hamami, who served as a commander of the Southern Brigade Gaza Division.
We got Nutra, from New York and from the United States, and I spoke to his parents. They're thrilled in one sense, but in another sense, obviously, it's not too great. But we're very happy to have done it.
The return comes after Hamas delivered 3 bodies on Friday that turned out not to be hostages. 8 hostage bodies still remain in Gaza, including 1 American. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel is working to eliminate pockets of Hamas terrorists in areas under Israeli control.
The entire issue of risk to our forces, my directive is unequivocal. If there is an attempt to harm our forces, we will strike those who attack and their organization to protect our forces. We are determined about it.
Netanyahu says that while Israel does report to its American friends, they don't ask permission.
Dismantling and demilitarizing Hamas, disarming Hamas, demilitarizing the Gaza Strip. This is the principle we adhere to. This is what we agreed upon between me and President Trump. And this is how we operate in a clear framework. And of course, if this is not done in one way, then it will be done in another way.
In an interview with CBS 60 Minutes, President Trump said the Gaza ceasefire is very solid.
I mean, you hear about Hamas, but Hamas could be taken out immediately if they don't behave. They know that. If they don't behave, they're going to be taken out immediately. If I want them to disarm, I'll get them to disarm very quickly. They'll be eliminated. They know that.
Meanwhile, in Lebanon, Israel continues to strike Hezbollah targets, killing 5 terrorists over the weekend. The U.S. Special Envoy for Syria, Tom Barak, describes Lebanon as a failed state, without a central bank, no electricity or education system. Nevertheless, he says, the leadership of Lebanon is good, and the way forward is to have good relations with Israel.
The Lebanese leadership today is solid. President Aoun, Nouaf, even Speaker Berry. They're trying, but they're dinosaurs. You have to go from the payphone to Starlink. And Starlink is, you go from Beirut to Tel Aviv. You have that conversation on the blue line, you have the conversation with Syria, and in 4 months you could end all of this.
Since the beginning of the October 7th war, Israel says one of the biggest battlefields is the information front. The 7th Christian Media Summit, hosted by the Israeli Government Press Office, is taking place for the first time since the October 7th war.
A summit where we hope you will understand the graveness of the events of the past 2 years and also come to understand the beauty of the people and incredible resilience that they have shown.
Pastor Trey Graham from Texas has been to Israel many times, but tells CBN News for first-timers there are lots of surprises.
Coming here to see things on the ground, again, for the first time for some, to be reinforced for others is the way to take back to whatever countries these journalists have come from to share what's really happening on the ground.
One important issue is biblical Judea and Samaria, also known as the West Bank, where Palestinians want to have a state. The group visited Samaria to meet Governor Yossi Dagan.
If people come here and visit, especially Judea and Samaria, the biblical heartland, they will understand the geography better, which helps you to understand military tactics and why giving up that high ground would be military suicide for this country.
First-time visitor Timothy Werasekera from Singapore said he better understands Israel's security needs.
One of the things that struck me being on the ground in Samaria is when you look across the armistice lines, you can see just how close the territories are, and to see that Tel Aviv is just an artillery shell away from where we were in Samaria made me think a lot about Israel's need to defend itself and the need to have a security buffer zone in that place.
Israeli Jonathan Feldstein, who lives in Judea, says it's been strangely quiet there during the war.
But we know that Hamas is there. We know that Hamas is crying. We know that our Arab neighbors don't love us. And all it will take is one little trigger for something else to start there.